Hello everybody, welcome back to the series, the yearly series that you guys love because it makes you really angry. But also there's some good chat as well. Flav, Spurs fan, Jack, Chelsea fan, me, QPR fan, but I'm on a lot of the videos, so you've let me be on it again. And Steve, thanks Steve, welcome. What? Hang on, this is my show, this is not your show. Wait until I speak to you, then you can
I'm
talk.
on mic number 1, so I think I am.
Anyway, stop interrupting me. Steve's here as well, right? So we're going to go through it. This is the series that's given you such gifts as predicting Burnley finishing 19th for the last 2 seasons, which they haven't done.
Yeah.
Getting it right with Arsenal last season.
Despite the absolute mayhem we knew it was going to happen, but you have to be truthful. You know,
Spurs fans can't really be honest about Arsenal, can they? That's the problem.
I was. It doesn't matter. Honesty is not a thing. I was right.
You're not offended by that you can't be biased, or you're happy to be biased as long as you're right.
I'm the most biased person here, probably.
Good. So what we're going to do in this one, 20th to 13th, we've all put down our predictions. We're going to have a vote, then we're going to talk about it, then we're going to put together our table. There'll be 3 videos, 20th to 13th, 12th to 6th, and then 5th to 1st. Who is going to finish bottom of the Premier League in the 2018-19 season? Flav, what's your vote?
Cardiff.
Jack, what's your vote?
Cardiff.
My vote's Cardiff. Steve's Cardiff as well.
Soz.
I don't really want them anyway.
I'm
I'm concerned about the quality of our league.
I think this is the strongest league that there's been.
Despite Cardiff being in it.
Right, in
So
spite.
everyone else has got to make up for the quality. Just fuck
Both
off.
of them Cardiff fans are going mental in the comments.
When it comes to Cardiff, I haven't seen them last season. Every year in the Championship, there's a team that you're like, how are they up there? The season before it was Reading. Last season I just couldn't understand it. Their squad was so average. But I guess the guy who does it, it's Neil Warnock. He knows the dark arts. He knows how to get the points on the board.
He knows how to get sacked and relegated and all.
Yeah, he's an expert at that as well. But he knows how to do like the basics, doesn't he? Like, let's work on corners, let's work on long throws, long balls up front. And that's how he's managed to stay in the game for all these years.
It keeps coming back. Yeah. Like the amount of times I go, this is it, I've got to stop now. I just want to go down to Devon and retire.
If I give you a manager who's got the best chance of getting you up, or at least a good chance, and Warnock will deliver that. It's just that's
keeping you up.
Can't you get him as like a special teams kind of manager? So you get relegated, you bring Warnock in, but you go, thank you.
Yeah.
We'll get a good manager in now for when we're in the league.
Is that
staying up specialist?
What makes him not good enough? What makes the Championship so different to the Premier League? Why this guy's got more teams promoted than anyone? Why is he not good enough for the Premier League? Is it just that he hasn't really been given a proper chance?
I guess that all the teams that he comes up with, he has a bigger challenge because the budget isn't there, the players aren't there, and it is more of a challenge. But it's a different skill set from what can get you into the Premier League and what can keep you there. And I think you need more dynamism than he has. You look at the other teams that have come up like Fulham and Wolves, and the way they play football. It was like, well, you've got that in your locker. You've got the players that can do that at Championship level. Let's see what they can do now.
It's also more suited to the division. The divisions are 2 different divisions with their own identities and their own style of plays. Like the Championship is one of the most exciting leagues because it's absolutely mental. And that's what you like about it. So a team that can survive in that, like I said, being effective on set pieces, going long, going into the channels, that's not necessarily going to work with the quality of sides that you come up against in the Premier League. So it's just... You've got to use the right tool for the job. You're trying to put a screw in with an hammer.
The reason they're finishing 20th is the signings that they've brought in. It is a Championship squad.
That's all they brought in, is it? They pulled
Bobby
other
Reid, Josh
players
Murphy.
from the Championship.
Yeah, exactly. And I just don't think
you can't
that's
do
going to be
it.
enough.
You've got to go further afield. You've got to bring in... See, I'm on the fence as well because I've spoke to a couple of managers and a couple of different players about it. And I'm like, do you rather go with the experience? People go, you need experience to keep a team in the league. Don't you just need good players?
Yeah,
I think there's got to be a quality about it as well. And I think that's the difference.
You need a mix, don't you? You need, especially if you're one of the new teams that have been promoted, you need kind of, the old head, to rally the troops in the dressing room when things aren't going well, and then you need the new exciting youngsters coming through, giving you a bit.
I think that's why. We're sure we'll get into it in a bit. I think we've all got Fulham staying up. I think, and I think because they've got someone like Sessegnon that they can look to, that's going to do something extraordinary. That you go, the goals and the quality is there with a team like that it isn't with Cardiff.
Second bottom now. Go on, Steve. Who are you going for?
I'm going Southampton.
Southampton, okay. I'm going to go Huddersfield.
Yeah, Huddersfield.
I've gone Southampton too.
Southampton, okay. Well, let's kick off with Southampton. We've had a couple of very mediocre seasons. Last season, 17th, just about stayed up.
They've had one of my mates works for Southampton as well on the coaching staff, Soz. But I think they're going down. I think they lack. Again, like Cardiff, I think they lack quality. They've had all of their quality mostly stripped out of them, mostly by Liverpool. And I think that losing Tadic on top of everything else that's happened, he was their most prolific creator and scorer. He combined for the most goals and assists. Losing him, not replacing him, that's going to be a big thing. You need goals in a relegation scrap, and I think without goals, you're probably finished, and that's why.
The guy they've brought in to supposedly replace him, Mohamed El-Nayousi, 60 million from Basel. I mean, an attacking player from Basel is not always a bad thing and can work out. I'm not saying he's going to be the next Mo Salah.
There you are.
But as a straight replacement for Tadic, I don't think it's just Tadic. I think people like Nathan Redmond scored 1 goal last season, and he's supposed to be one of their most exciting players.
They've got Gabby Adini, they've got Austin, but they're only pulling half a dozen goals out. You've got to double that. You can't be doing 5-6 goals.
They need to focus on, they're not blessed with, a squad full of superstars. They are blessed with, in my opinion, a proper centre forward in Charlie Austin. I know he gets injured a lot and stuff like that. But whenever I've seen Southampton playing and Charlie Austin's been fitting on the pitch, they just don't seem to build their attacks around him, and he just seems really isolated up front, and he just ends up taking pot shots from like 35 yards and stuff because he's not being played into the right positions.
Yeah, I mean, I've got them a bit further up because I think they've got enough solid players, and they do keep possession well. I think they're can do better.
They're going down.
They are boring. You're saying they go down. I think Huddersfield, look, enough's enough.
Yeah.
They scored 28 goals last season. I think that's the worst in terms of teams that have never been relegated since, what was it, Leeds 1996?
Worst return since Leeds in 1996.
And I just think the first season when you go up, there's that adrenaline.
Yeah.
And it can get you there. I just think they can't do this.
I think in Wagner they've got, a really good manager, but they don't have the squad to match the capabilities of the guy in charge.
They need to find a way of being more inventive and adventurous, and he's proved that he's a good manager, and a good manager keeps you up. So I think that Southampton, if we're comparing the two, Southampton have lost their identity. They're no longer that club that produce youth players. They've been asset stripped, and it's not their fault because you can't. It's hard to recruit players at the quality that they've lost for the money that they did. So I just think their identity's lost completely. They brought Mark Hughes in, which is probably the most insipid manager you can bring in. Yeah. He keeps teams up as well, to be fair. But come on.
It's the same thing, innit?
Where's the identity gone?
Pardew's probably looking at Howson in Southampton at the moment thinking, I'll get the call eventually.
Absolutely.
But I think the difference, I've got Southampton one place above, so they're still getting relegated in my world.
See, I haven't got them getting relegated.
But I think the difference between the Huddersfield squad and the Southampton is at least you can say, right, at Southampton, we've got Charlie Austin, we've got Gabby Adini, we've got players who on their day know how to score goals and have proved it in the past. I think with Huddersfield, name me, who's their prolific centre forward?
Meunier, and that's not prolific. That's it. That's what I agree. I've just realised because we've got 4 of us. We all have our votes. There's got to be a head judge. I'm going to make myself that head judge. So Huddersfield finishes second bottom. Sorry. My vote is Crystal Palace. The reason I say Crystal Palace, I think Zaha's going to go, and I think if Zaha does go, and this is a bit of a gamble, and there's a few here, isn't there, where injuries are going to play a huge part. The last few days of the transfer window are going to play a huge part. But I think Zaha will go. And if he does go, I think they're at a loose end. I think Benteke's had 2 poor seasons now. They created a lot of chances last season. A big part of that was because of Zaha. And I've just got a feeling that they're going to struggle this season. They had 10 penalties or something last season. Yeah. So that's not going to happen again.
I think we've got to remember, Hodgson did an amazing job last year, didn't he, when he took over? They looked down and out.
And they did finish the season really strongly. I just worry about them. So that's my vote. Who's your vote?
Brighton.
Go for Brighton. I think Brighton are going to have a good season. Flav, who's your vote?
Newcastle.
Newcastle, okay. And yours was Southampton.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Let me tell you why for Newcastle. Again, and it's off the pitch. They've got a great manager in Rafa Benitez, but you're asking them to do absolute wonders again. They've still got a championship squad. And to add to that, the fact that there's a complete breakdown in relationship between the players and the boardroom. Again, they're having this, for the second season on the bounce, having this argument over bonuses that were agreed, that are in the contracts of the players. £4 million the players are supposed to share, and £1 million bonus for every place that they finished above the relegation spot, 10th. So that's 11 million they're supposed to share that they're not getting currently. Players are refusing to do any media outlet.
You saying players are motivated by money and not the...
Absolutely. I'm saying it's not about money, it's about an agreement that's been made between players and being respected. Yeah. So, I mean, what's obviously great about that is Spurs haven't signed anyone, but we're playing the first game of the season, so hopefully they're completely fucked.
It can run you down, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, and I just think that they haven't strengthened really. Rondon over Mitrovic. I know they're different type of players, but probably comparable returns.
Yeah, I mean, where's Rondon come from? West Brom.
Exactly.
Okay, Brighton? Why Brighton?
They've signed quite a lot of players, haven't they? But I don't think anyone that they've signed is going to be enough to keep them in the league. And I split these in Huddersfield with nothing between them. It could be a bit of luck, one game. Either way, maybe the games between them can have this.
I think Brighton are decent. I thought they were really solid last season. I thought I worry about them scoring goals. Glenn Murray has a lot of pressure on him. He's going to be 35 soon.
Yeah.
But he is that guy who just kind of, I don't know, just seems to find a way to score goals wherever he's been. But surely that's got to stop sooner or later.
Yeah, this
season, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah,
I've got them. Where have I got? I've got them 13.
Yeah, I've got Brighton doing all right as well. I think in Chrissy Houghton, you've got like one of football's proper gentlemen. He plays football the right way. You know, he's throughout his managerial career, he's never been sort of blessed with money or anything like that. And no matter what club he's come into, generally they've been in dire straits.
And he's never underperformed.
No, he's sorted out wherever he's been.
Nice guys finished last or 17th.
He's made, I think he's made massive inroads since he's been at Brighton. And I think, they'll kick on from that momentum of having a really good season last year. And I think there were just definitely three worse teams in the league than Brighton.
Okay,
yeah. Right. And just your Palace shout to go down is madness.
You think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I'll tell you what, let's have a vote now, right? You can't vote for the team that you put forward.
Yeah.
Does that make
sense? Is
sense?
that because you don't like Palace anymore?
No, because I'm wondering about his last days. I think that might be a bad shout. No, but I think that might be a better way to move forward with it. So, okay, Crystal Palace, I can't vote. No one? Okay. Southampton to finish third bottom?
Well, yeah, because I had them already down.
I had them down as well.
Okay, well, there you go. There's 3 votes. Southampton finished third bottom.
There's no chance Southampton. All right. Newcastle are down. I know I can't vote for myself. They are screwed.
Because I think Benitez is
overrated.
He finds a way. He's not overrated. For what he did last season with that situation.
He won't last the season, so he won't be able to find a way.
But I think he's got such a kind of. I think he'll stick. I think he'll stay there. I think he'll see out the season and think then he'll go. And he'll just about keep them up, I think.
He deserves that.
I think Benitez is in danger of scuppering his own sort of reputation. He had the glory years, at Liverpool, and then he went to Napoli and stuff like that. At Chelsea, the fans never liked him because of, previous comments that he'd made. However, he still delivered, us a Europa League, and begrudgingly, he kind of earned back some respect there. I think he's been at Newcastle now for almost too long for a man of his qualities. As Flav said, the club are in a shambles off the pitch. And if he hangs around there too much longer, I think, his chances of getting, an Everton job or, the sort of calibre of team that, he deserves or he wants, he's going to start sort of becoming further down that picking list.
The thing with Watford, right, I don't trust my own mind with them because the players that they buy, right, I don't know anything about them. The manager, I don't know that much about him really. They're all quite quiet managers that you just don't hear about. Watford don't get any publicity really, and so they just slowly carry on. Whereas the Pozzo family, for all the madness that ensues, keep them up every year.
Well, I mean, we do know a little bit about Watford's manager Grace here, and he had the large proportion of last season. Silva sat on 12 games.
Yeah, he drove it home quite well, to be fair.
But they still were shipping goals left, right, and centre. They're still, they had some great results at Chelsea at Vicarage Road and whatnot. But by and large, pretty abject. Some really good performances from certain players. They've recruited well as they have done, but they've got a problem in their defence that I don't think they've solved.
So who's voting for Newcastle?
Me.
1, 2.
Well, I thought it would go down, but yeah, right.
So, right, Newcastle.
I've got him in 12.
You've got me 12?
Yeah. I don't like Benitez, but I think he just finds a way of boring the piss out of people to get himself results, doesn't he?
Joe, if you can stay up, finish 10th with Joselu up front, then that's a decent manager. That's not overrated.
And they kept hold of Kennedy.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
That's a hell of a player.
Yeah.
Great player.
So next up, I'm happy. I had Watford in 16th, so I'm happy to put Watford there next. Is there any objections to that? Well, Huddersfield have gone there, mate.
Looking at my list, I feel like I might have overestimated Watford's progress here. So I'm happy to be wrong on that. I've got them riding high, higher than they need to be.
Where have you got?
I kind of want to swap them over.
10th.
I got him at 10th.
You got him 10th.
Come on, you Horns.
Right, I'm going to go Watford 16th. Any objections?
Not really.
I got him 17th.
I had him 14th, but it's
I've got Palace there, but yeah, I'm happy to see Watford there.
So the three I think that we've got left here, well, it's actually 5. You've got Burnley, Brighton, Palace, Wolves, and Fulham. I think in that tier.
I got Fulham 15th because I think they're a team that's going to start really brightly on the momentum of last season. I think they've got some pretty good talents in there. I reckon they shock a couple of people early doors, but I think quality will drag them down a little bit when it starts getting to the meat of the season and second half of the season. I think they comfortably stay up, but they burn brightly and kind of fade as the season goes.
Yeah. I think that's a fair. I've got them 11th Fulham, but I wonder if there's. I think it's dependent on injuries with them a lot and that good start. I think they will have a really strong start and they play cracking football. If they have injuries, they'll struggle. Because I don't think they've got much depth, but
they have signed well.
They have signed well, but here's a prediction. I think Schürrle will do nothing.
No, I'm a massive Schürrle fan.
I think he's had 2 bad seasons at Dortmund.
What's a bad season at Dortmund though? It's like he hasn't started every game. All right, fair enough.
You heard it first.
Schürrle has, in my opinion, he has the potential to be. He's better. I think he's a much better player than no disrespect to them, but playing for Fulham, I think he's got it in his locker to literally be like a top 4 player. Yeah. Given the right chance, I think in his career he's shown glimpses at Chelsea. He never really got a chance, but there were flashes of sort of genius there, and he's. I don't know about genius. Genius is the wrong word. I was struggling for vocab there, but there's flashes of
mediocrity.
No, genuine talent. And I think that him, if they play 4-4-3, which is I think the formation they played last year,
and in
Sessegnon they've got
an extra player, probably do really well.
Sessegnon's one of the best players, young players in the league. As a teenager at least. Him on one side, Thingy on the other, Mitrovic.
The most impressive signing, I think, was Seri in midfield. Young, dynamic, not the biggest, but so nor is Kante. He's like all action, scores goals. Like lots of big teams were in for him. I wish Spurs. I wish Spurs would just
say that.
I won't talk about him again. I want to say it now. We're not going to mention Seri again in this.
No, but you're just talking about Spurs not buying anyone. You can't talk about that.
All right, I'm sorry, I'll let it go. But look, he's been a very good signing for them. Their issue, though, their main issue is the up front. They've signed Mitrovic, 22 million, who did bits in the Championship. He's a Championship-level footballer. He will always excel at that. We saw him at Newcastle and he was pretty redundant. And they've spent 22 million, making him their focal point. Can he be the hold-up target man that he was in the Championship, in the Premier League?
And will Sessegnon score hatfuls?
I think Sessegnon will, because his abilities aren't necessarily about beating a man or going past someone, or where you need to have an elite ability to get past players and fullbacks in the Premier League. His ability is being in the right place at the right time and understanding and attacking space in the same way that Ali does, and Muller does.
So I don't think they'll be that far
I've
down.
got them finishing 13th. I don't think they finish. I think Brighton will 100% finish below them.
Okay. What about Burnley?
I think they have a fine season.
I've got Burnley
8th. I've got them 11th.
I've got them 9th.
I've got them 8th.
Okay, so not Burnley then.
Yeah, not Burnley.
So what about Wolves?
Nope.
I've got Wolves 9th.
Okay, right.
I've got them 9th.
8th for Wolves, yeah.
So right, we need to nail down this 15th position.
So I've got Brighton.
Yeah, Brighton.
So Brighton to finish below Palace?
Yes.
Yeah. So the last one for this video, we need to finish 13th place. Who is next on the list? I
had Bournemouth in 14th.
Bournemouth, yeah.
I've got Bournemouth well up there.
I've got Bournemouth 11th.
So I've got Bournemouth well up there. I think Burnley should be that 13th place because I've got them 14th. I think they're gonna. I don't think the squad's strong enough. I think, like a lot of teams who have a great season, the season after, that they really struggle to match it again because other teams go there and go, right, this is gonna. They know what they're getting. The momentum's not going to be the same. They've got Europe, which is going to tire them out as well. There's a massive difference playing on a Wednesday and then playing on a Sunday, and then Thursday and playing on a Sunday. The psychological side of it, we see it year after year. Teams struggle, and a team with that squad is going to struggle, in my opinion.
I think Burnley's one of their key strengths is like that sort of team spirit that they seem to have.
Yeah.
You know, and Sean Dyche just, you know, they've got that kind of us against the world mentality. You know, little old Burnley like taking on everyone.
The replacements that they bring in as well, like Tarkowski for Keane, nobody saw that coming.
Yeah.
And apparently they've got more of that in the locker. So
they've signed Gibson from Borough.
It's a good signing.
Highly rated.
Yeah.
It was exactly in keeping with what Burnley are about. Him and Tarkowski, that's a solid centre-back pairing. Their issues though is
I just think
they'll be tired. They will be tired. They've signed Joe Hart, which doesn't really count as a signing, really, does it? When the other two are back, Keaton and Pope, he's not even getting near that first team squad. So they've signed one player at this stage. They were already threadbare. Their best bet is just to throw the Europa League, and I think that they'll do well. I
don't think they'll do that, though.
I don't. They shouldn't. No, they shouldn't.
Absolutely not.
But I'm not talking about what you should do in your heart and what you should do in the head. Burnley should throw that competition because it's so exhausting. They don't have the squad. They will finish 13th or 14th if they take that competition seriously. It's a shame, but you didn't invest.
So 13th?
I've still got them finishing just a bit higher than that. I don't think they're in
I've got them 9th.
So who's below them?
I've got them 9th.
We've got Bournemouth in the mix.
I think Bournemouth are going to have a really good season. I really do. I think they made a lot of transfers last season that didn't totally work out, but they weren't bad players like Begovic, Defoe. I really like Josh King. I really like Callum Wilson. Stanislav scores goals. I think Harry Arter keeps them ticking. I think, and the age of the squad is not old, apart from Defoe. I think they're moving along and they're comfortable. The manager's been there a long time. I think there's a lot of components there that could help them. And they do well at home. They always do well at home.
Eddie
I think they're moving forward.
It's so underappreciated. I say this every year. He's the anomaly. He keeps them up. He is Bournemouth at the moment.
Yeah. That's my pitch for Bournemouth not being in this video.
Okay. Well, I mean, I
can't accept Burnley.
Who's going to finish
I had
decision?
them rock bottom last season after what happened, and I was so wrong.
So
I'm not doing it again.
So Burnley.
Yeah, we did say so. Not 19th this time, which is good.
No, I had them rock bottom on mine.
So you're saying Bournemouth.
I'll say Bournemouth.
I'm saying Burnley. Over to you, lads. You guys need to decide.
This is for 14th.
It's 13th.
Oh, for 13th. Well, I had Fulham at 13th.
You've got Bournemouth in 14th, same as me. So
yeah, I've got Bournemouth in 14th and Fulham in 13th.
I think Fulham too, but I can see Bournemouth.
Well, that's 2 then. Could be Fulham.
Yeah, I'd take Fulham.
I had Fulham down here too. I'll go with Fulham.
Yeah,
let's Fulham in.
Right, there you have it. Fulham finishing 13th. Right, so that was it. Let's have a quick run through. In 20th, it's going to be Cardiff, Huddersfield in 19th, then Southampton in 18th, then the 13th to get relegated. Newcastle in 17th, Watford 16th, Brighton 15th, Palace 14th, and Fulham, the very respectable 13th.
Not bad for a newly promoted side.
Not bad at all. Right, the next video is 12th to 6th. Make sure you don't miss that. If you don't want to miss that, then subscribe to the channel. Let us know your thoughts and your predictions in the comments below. Like the video, and we'll see you soon.